very well worth it. Best thing I've done for my health ever.
Never.
Ever.
Awesome.
I'll just say too
right
that
ahead, please.
if I was going to any other doctor, you may or may not get answers. I usually didn't get answers, but in coming here, I got answers and I got a remedy all in the same day. And
Pain relief in your stomach have you experienced? If you can give a percentage-wise, how much improvement?
I'd say about 75%.
75%.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Level 0 to 10, where 10 is the worst of the stomach pain, it was at its worst, which was an average common.
Somewhere between a 7 and a 9 all the time.
7 or 9 all the time.
Yeah.
And now you say that your worst days now with your stomach pain?
About a 4.
Mm-hmm. And the best days are?
Best days are down to like a 1.
Down to like a
Yeah.
1. So that's like huge difference compared to where you were.
Yeah.
You also said that you had a sternum pain that you were experiencing pretty frequently before.
Yeah, and I think, I don't know if just all that pain from my abdomen was just kind of radiating, but yeah, that's gone.
And just wearing the upper garment here
Yeah.
that was making, and now that's gone, completely gone.
Yeah.
Wearing a garment or no garment,
Yeah.
gone.
I'm fine.
Awesome. And you said that the inflamed intestinal symptoms, how much have they decreased now since you started this care?
Easily 85%, I'd
Awesome.
say.
That's
Yeah.
great. You also said,
And I struggle with endometriosis, and so being able to plan around that and plan around that pain was really important. So it was really frustrating to not be able to even plan around it. And just even if I didn't have a period, I didn't mean I was without pain from it for some reason. So that's improved a lot already. The regularity, so far I'm on a normal track again, and my pain is not even a fraction of what it was
even a
before.
fraction. So the pain is 0 to 10. If 10 is the worst kind of cramping and abdominal pain, what was what before we started care, and what is it now?
Well, I wasn't dead, so it can't be a 10. But there were those times it was definitely an 8 or a 9. I mean, I could not function. I could not get out of bed. And now I'm fine. I mean, I can deal with it, and I can go on with my daily life.
Hello, I'm Dr. Herman here with a great patient of mine. This is Juliana. My clinic is right now down in South Florida. She comes to our clinic here from Idaho. And you came as a referral from another happy patient of ours. And you were seeking care because you had symptoms. There were various symptoms that were troubling you for a long time, one of which was your stomach pain.
Oh, yes.
Right?
Really bad stomach pain.
Your stomach pain started when you were a child, I believe.
It did start when I was a child. I've always had digestive intestinal problems, but they really got bad in the last 7 years.
In the last 7 years, really bad. Bad to what point? Was it bad like stopping you from...
Debilitating.
Debilitating.
If I didn't work from home, I wouldn't have a job. It's affecting everything. It affects social life, definitely work, even though I was still, for the most part, able to, but it still affected my work. My home, family life, of course, and then, of course, as you're trying to figure out what's wrong with you and still getting no relief, that gets really tough too.
And so how many different doctors did you go to for the stomach pain?
Easily, natural doctors, I've been to 4 or 5, and then, of course, you go just the traditional medical route, and so many doctors. I finally stopped going and just canceled appointments because I knew they weren't going to.
Were there any supplements or medications that they gave you that ever helped?
No prescription medications, but a lot of different supplements that helped, but because the problem was so severe, it didn't help enough.
Didn't help enough. How much relief would you get from taking a supplement that was helping a little bit? Like 1%, 10%?
1%.
1%, so very little.
Very little, yeah.
And after your first protocol with me, and again, I'll start off by saying the speed of recovery varies from one patient to another. But after your first protocol, which is, you've only had one protocol, I saw you in March of 2018, this is June 6th of 2018. How much pain relief in your stomach have you experienced? If you can give a percentage-wise, how much improvement?
I'd say about 75%.
75%.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Mhm.
And the pain was stabbing? Was it burning? Was it like cramping in the stomach? What was it like?
All of that, and I felt inflamed all the time. I felt bloated. Yeah, all of that, and it was to an extreme degree to where clothes hurt. It hurts where anything constricting, because it just made that pain so much worse.
Much worse. And was there anything that they ever found? Were there ulcers, or did you have anything that ever happened, or hernia, something that was in that abdominal area that they found in any laboratory test that was
No.
ever done?
I did all sorts of scans. I've had ultrasounds. I've had HIDA scans. I thought for a while maybe it was my gallbladder. You start to try to figure it out on your own when the doctors don't seem to be helping. All of it came up clean, which is good, but also frustrating, because you feel like you still don't have any answers. So it was costing me a lot of money, and I wasn't getting anywhere.
Yeah. And with the elimination diet that you did that provide you any relief?
A little bit. I had a reduction in my symptoms initially, and I probably lost 15 pounds just in water weight because of all that inflammation immediately after, probably in the first 2 weeks after doing the elimination diet. But as time went on, I knew that wasn't the fix. There was something else, because I was still having problems, and then those problems started to increase again.
So even with on that elimination diet,
Right.
still restricting certain foods.
Right, restricting certain foods, and then even it was to the point where I could have something one day and be okay, relatively speaking, and eat the same thing a day or two later, completely sick.
Horrible symptoms.
Yeah, so I couldn't figure out what it was.
Right. And since you completed this protocol, and even through the protocol, you were feeling better. Remember that phone conversation that we had. But
Yeah.
since you completed the protocol, didn't you tell me that you've sort of expanded your diet a bit, and when you did, eat foods that were outside of the limited foods that on that limited diet that you were following to try to calm down some of the symptoms. When you expanded your diet, did you have any of these upsetting symptoms that you used to experience?
Only a little bit, and I got over it very quickly. Before, if I didn't maintain that really, really strict, 5 different foods, 5 different meals that I could have, and even then I was still not feeling good all the time. If I went outside of that, I was sick for days.
And now when you say a little bit, when you expanded your diet, what does a little bit mean? Like an hour you felt it, or just that day, but the next day you were fine?
Yeah, the rest of the day, and maybe sometimes into the next day, but by the afternoon I was wearing
So
off.
75% improvement in reduction of pain, digestive function is a lot better. You also said that your pain pre-care was a level of, you said it was in the severity level, 0 to 10, where 10 is the worst of the stomach pain. It was at its worst, which was an average common.
Somewhere between a 7 and a 9 all the time.
7 or 9 all the time. And now you say that your worst days now with your stomach pain?
About a 4. Ish.
And the best days are?
Best days are down to like a 1.
Down to like a 1.
Yeah.
So that's like huge difference compared to where you were.
Yeah.
You also said that you had a sternum pain that you were experiencing pretty frequently before.
And I think I don't know if just all that pain from my abdomen was just kind of radiating, but yeah, that's gone.
And just wearing the upper garment here
Yeah.
that was making, and now that's gone, completely gone.
Yeah,
Wearing
I'm
a
fine.
garment or no garment,
Yeah,
gone.
I'm fine.
Awesome. And you said that the inflamed intestinal symptoms, how much have they decreased now since you started this care?
Easily 85%, I'd
Awesome.
say.
That's
Yeah.
great. You also said that your fatigue level was pretty constant, the fatigue before we started?
Yeah, everything was
Right.
a disaster.
And the days now, your fatigue level, there are some days where you still experience some fatigue at this point?
Sure, but it's really not that bad.
Not that
I
bad.
mean,
And there were some days where you experience zero fatigue?
yeah, I'm great.
Excellent. You also said one other point that we want to bring up is about your monthly cycle. So what was it like prior? So what was it like in the irregularity of your periods?
For most of my history, I was pretty regular up until the last year and a half or so, and it would be several months sometimes, and just all over the place, and I could not plan for it. And I struggle with endometriosis, and so being able to plan around that and plan around that pain was really important. So it was really frustrating to not be able to even plan around it. And just even if I didn't have a period, I didn't mean I was without pain from it for some reason. So that's improved a lot already. The regularity, so far I'm on a normal track again, and my pain is not even a fraction of what it was before.
A fraction. So the pain is 0 to 10. If 10 is the worst, kind of cramping and abdominal pain. What was what before we started care, and what is it now?
Well, I wasn't dead, so it can't be a 10. But there were those times it was definitely an 8 or a 9. I mean, I could not function. I could not get out of bed. And now I'm fine. I mean, I can deal with it, and I can go on with my daily life. I would say at my worst, this is probably a 4 or 5, but it doesn't last like it does not last as long as it did before. So.
Okay.
I can still carry on with my daily life.
Very good. So we're moving along. So, and the cramps you said were?
That's the part that was, yeah, it was really bad. And now it's tolerable. I can still.
So, so you're getting back to a normal life now. It's been a long time since you've been there.
Yes, very long time.
And so this is just a step in the journey of getting her well, which is a huge step. This is not just like 10% better, 75% improvement in our functions. We still have a way to go. There's still some other symptoms that we're working on with you and to help you feel better. And I believe that after this protocol that we just figured out today from this exam is going to even bring you leaps and bounds in towards your improvement and better function, better health. Before I share some of the findings, if I can, from the first exam and the second exam, you said before we started the second exam today, you were saying that you were, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, so I'm just going to remind you what you told me. You were pretty impressed with the speed at which you didn't expect.
Yeah, I tried to go into it without having any expectations as to when, how, and just how everything would look. I was just taking them and going about my days. And I was surprised at how quickly I got relief from the stomach, the really terrible stomach problems. I expected really... I say I didn't have any expectations, and when I say that, I guess I mean I didn't have any expectations to be feeling so good so quickly. I kind of thought I would have to do the whole round of protocols and then I would feel okay, or sometime after that. And almost immediately, I feel like I got a lot of relief. And again, not 100%, but from what I was dealing with every single day before, it was huge to function normally.
So, and your husband feels
pretty happy that I'm not sick all the time.
Working. Yeah. So I'll just share a couple of things I found in our first protocol, and it's the whole point is to pinpoint and safely eliminate the infections and toxins that are causing the tissues to be inflamed and to not work well and cause these symptoms. And in our pancreas, I found that there was a Giardia parasitic infection, there were parasitic flukes, there were Streptococcus bacteria, multiple kinds of Streptococcus bacteria. There were protozoa infections. There was some formaldehyde that was in her pancreas causing it to malfunction. There was Candida tropicalis in the pancreas causing it to malfunction. I found several anesthesia chemicals, general anesthesia chemicals in the brain that we had to remove. I found antibiotic residues in the brain, histoplasma fungus in the brain, Candida albicans in the brain, and a local anesthesia, which is the needle that they'll put in for a dental procedure, xylocaine, lidocaine agent in the brain. I also found in the large intestine Mercury and Mycoplasma bacteria and propofol general anesthetic and midazolam, which is a sedative chemical in the large intestine, upsetting the tissues. I also found in this round in her brain, one of the main infections that I found causing her disruption in her body's function. In her brain, there's dengue fever. Dengue fever, which is a virus that can be transmitted by mosquitoes, which is the only information I found about it online. I found mold, I found a rickettsia bacteria, Lyme infection in the brain in this round. In the adrenal gland, the adrenal cortex, which is the part of the adrenal gland that creates and provides cortisol to the body to create energy for the body or help us sustain energy. Dengue fever, the virus infecting the adrenal cortex. What's going to happen to your energy when the adrenal cortex that helps to make the cortisol to provide energy, what's going to happen when that tissue is infected? Can't make enough cortisol. You can get all the adrenal gland tests that you can get done under the sun. They could say you have a malfunction in the adrenal gland, adrenal fatigue, adrenal exhaustion, but they're not going to tell you why. So it's not about taking a progesterone to fix that. It's not about taking an adrenal stimulant kind of supplement to fix it. We've got to get rid of the cause of the interruption in its function. Dengue fever in there. I found in the cerebellum of your brain this time, dengue fever. I found dengue fever in the spinal cord, Lyme infection in the brainstem, and there are various bacteria in heart tissues of the left ventricle and the right ventricle of our heart, and various bacteria that affected the ovaries, and those can cause the cystic ovaries, that can cause endometrial pains or endometriosis pains, period problems, and all of these can cause any symptom in the body because the brain controls the body. The heart is integrated in so many different systems of the body, so we clear up these infections and toxins out of your tissues, and it's going to help you feel even better with clearing up the other symptoms that we still have to do, that you're still dealing with. But it's great to know that you're 75% improved since you saw me last time, since before you ever met me, and it's all from this work. There was no other supplement, no other diet, no other changes that you did. It was all this alone with these remedies. And hopefully next time that you're doing even better, we can get another update to share with people and help them know that you can even improve more. So thank you for coming on.
You're welcome.
And you think that it's something that's pretty easy to do?
Very easy to do.
Very easy.
Very well worth it. Best thing I've done for my health ever.
Never.
Ever.
Awesome.
I'll just say too
right
that
ahead, please.
if I was going to any other doctor, you may or may not get answers. I usually didn't get answers, but in coming here, I got answers and I got a remedy all on the same day, and it's only been a couple of months and I feel fantastic. Relief. Yeah, so much relief. So that's good.
High five. Awesome. So they should come. There's no doubt. We can get well. Yeah. So you can call my clinic at 954-370-3100, 954-370-3100. We've got a delightful woman who's answering the phone to help you schedule appointments, right? She's good.
Sure.
Yeah. And the email address I'll also put down on the screen here, so you can just email if you don't want to call. Just send an email to my assistant. And you too can get well. There is no reason not to get well. It's just that you haven't gone to the right physician who can help you get well. And I can definitely help you get the job done. Just hopefully it's going to be fast recovery. There's nothing more that we want in this clinic from everybody that we're helping for speedy recovery. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer than such a rapid turnaround. So look forward to helping you too. See you soon.